Yeah. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. I guess we could call this one a field review of the Century Arms JW2000 Coachgun. This one provided to me by J&G Sales for testing and review. You've seen it in one or two other videos up to this point. I love this thing. It's so simple, so fun. It's the definition of boomstick.
This is my boomstick!
2 3/4 inch as well as 3-inch shells. It's fine to shoot slugs through. I've shot 5 slugs through it here tonight. No apparent warping of the barrel or anything like that, as I've seen folks talk about in forums and so forth. Basically, I went by the instruction manual, the user's manual, which said there is 0 choke on this gun, on either barrel, which means slugs are fine. So I shot slugs through it. You'll see some testing of that here in a little bit, the grouping as well as some velocity of those slugs throughout this review. Basically, it's about as simple and about as fun as a shotgun can get. It's made in 20 gauge, 410, as well as 12 gauge. 12 gauge is probably one of the more popular ones. I hadn't owned a 20 gauge yet. That's why I was so interested in the 20 gauge version. You can see that I've added a little sling on here. I don't recall who makes this. It's a little bit of a stretchy kind of a sling. I found this many years ago and have been putting it on a variety of rifles ever since, but I love it on this gun. It's just perfect for slinging over your back like so and carrying around very comfortably for a rabbit hunt, for just some fun shooting or what have you. And it comes off just about as easily. Also put a little butt pad, not butt pad, but butt cuff on there for holding shells. You can see that it's got 6 on this side. It's also got 2 little loops to hold 2 more right there. Be careful if you shoot it with the 2 right there, because that's right next to your cheek, right next to your lip. And if you're a little too choked up on that, a little too close on it, you're gonna feel those shells in your lip. Functionality of it, real simple. There's the brake action right there. Just push that and it opens up. Little bunny ear hammers on it, as you can see there, and double triggers on it. So you've got a front trigger and a rear trigger, and you've also got a left trigger and a right trigger. You can't really tell that from this angle, but this one right here is not only in front, but it's also on the right side. This one's not only in back, but it's also on the left side. So that's a real easy way to tell that this one fires this barrel and this one fires that barrel. Okay, and you can shoot both barrels at the same time. Be careful doing that, but you can do it, and it's kind of fun. And so today we're going to put a few more rounds through it, maybe a couple dozen rounds through it, just have some fun, hit some steel. We're losing light here, so we're going to get this done as quickly as we can. But I got to tell you, man, the JW2000 from Century Arms, again, J&G Sales has them. Fun gun. If you don't have some kind of a coach gun, some kind of a double barrel gun, you know, this classic functionality, classic design in your collection, think about getting it, because man, it's a fun gun to play with. And speaking of playing with the gun, let's go ahead and load this sucker back up. Hammers back, safety on, right here. Backwards is safe, forwards is fire. Got a water jug right there. Let's see if I can blow that sucker up. Nice. Icicles. So much fun. It's about 20-inch barrel, 20-inch, about 20 1/4 inches from here to there. And you can break this thing in half. I'll show you how that works in a second, and actually throw it in a backpack if you wanted to. It does come into 3 parts though, so that's a little bit cumbersome to put together, but that's besides the point, and we'll address that in a moment. Safety on. Some of the times the shells just fall right out, other times they don't. Really comes down to the variances in the different shells and how one will expand slightly more than another one will. But it's not a big deal, just kind of pull them and flick them out with your fingers, and that's what I do most of the time. 3/4 ounce slugs, rifled slugs for 20 gauge. Rifled slugs work. So let's demonstrate real quick how this gun comes apart. And this is what you would do if you were going to put this in long-term storage, or perhaps throw it in a backpack, store it in your vehicle or in a cabin or something like that. Basically have it ready, but not, you know, sort of obvious and available and easy to spot. So the way you do it, there's this little tab right here on the bottom of the foregrip. Pull that down, and this part just breaks right off like so. And once you've done that, the whole barrel, chamber, etc. comes right off. So what we've got are these 3 parts right here. Okay? So that's it. That's the whole thing. It's a little difficult to put back together, you know, while I'm standing here, but give me just a second and I think I'll be able to manage it. There it is. Yeah, no big deal. That little tab right there, that's kind of the key. As long as you're able to get that tab undone, that's all it is to taking the gun apart. But why should we take the gun apart when we can put it together and ring some steel? We're shooting all birdshot tonight, at least at the steel right now. Earlier, I shot some buckshot, showed you some groups of that, as well as some slugs to show you what those groups look like as well. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know the movie better than I do, but I think it was Army of Darkness, where Ash had some kind of a double-barrel shotgun like this, but he also was missing a hand. So what he had to do was operate the entire thing one-handed. So you break that open one hand, kind of get it like so, without using the second hand, load it up like that, flick it closed like that, hammers back, and let's see if we can get this sucker on target to kill some zombies. And then see if we can get that sucker unloaded as well. Yeah! There's something to be said about guns in Hollywood. Not too bad. Oh yeah. So in all seriousness, what do you need this kind of gun for? What practical purposes does it have? In my opinion, it's a good little rabbit hunting gun, little squirrel hunting gun, small game hunting gun. If you're not too concerned about getting pellets in your game, this is a great gun for it. Rabbits run fast, they move quick. It's kind of hard to hit them, especially with a 22, especially when they see you coming. But if you've got enough distance on them and you've got the spread of a 20 gauge or 12 gauge, whatever the case may be, in birdshot, yeah, you're more than likely to get your prey. What's another purpose for it? Well, I actually think that this is a pretty nice home defense option. Yeah, I think a pump action shotgun is better for most people, but the simplicity of this makes it a pretty attractive option. Now, barring the couple of bad primer strikes that I've had tonight, this has been a very reliable gun. All the outings I've taken it out on, shot perfectly. It's been totally reliable with every round. So what I feel like is it's going to be a good, simple, good, reliable home defense option for someone who maybe can't get the complexity of all the controls on a pump action. Not that they're very complex, but perhaps this is more complex, and in my opinion, it is. So I think that this has actually got some pretty good potential as a home defense option. And yeah, shotguns, we all know, they're pretty good. They're pretty devastating. Woo. I suppose one downside to making this your home defense gun is the fact that it's severely rounds limited. You've got 2 shots, so you got to make them count. And also the fact that there is a little bit of a transition. It's not 1 trigger, it's 2. So you want that second shot, got to remember to switch triggers and keep your sights aligned at the same time. By the way, when I'm talking about sights, what I mean is that little bead up there, that tiny little brass bead. It's been adequate though. I really don't think that you need a lot more than that. I would not bother putting anything besides that little brass bead on there. You've got a textured rail up top, help cut down on glare and help you acquire that bead nice and easily. All the functionality of it is fairly smooth. It took some breaking in, I will tell you that. When I first got it, opening up that action for the first time, it was stiff and sticky. So there was probably some sharp edges in there someplace that just needed a little bit of rounding off. And in order to get to that, you just needed to work it, you know, just work that action over and over. And in doing that, yeah, it's nice and loose now. Nothing wrong with it. Down to the last 2 shells here. Might as well do this one one-handed. JW2000 Century Arms. I love this stinking gun. Once again, it's affordable, it's fun, it's versatile. This is going to be in the collection probably forever. I love it. And that's about all I got to say about this gun. I'm a late Boy Scout. Remember, check this gun out at J&G Sales. They got lots of them. Last time I checked, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 410 gauge. If they don't have the one you want, call them, talk to them. They'll probably be able to get it in for you. Prices are good, shipping is fast, and this thing is a lot of fun. Love that stock, by the way. I want to say it's walnut, probably not. Just some kind of a nice hardwood with a walnut coloring to it, but whew, cool looking. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Late Boy Scout, we'll see you later.